Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season 3 of the Super Metroid Randomizer League. It's the first race of it. I am Ajder, joined by Cassidy Mo. And how are you doing, Cassidy?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. Pretty excited. So, yeah, I think we're going to get started shortly, but I will do a bit of explaining on how this is all going to work. So, we're doing things a little bit differently this season. Differently depending on kind of what viewing angle you're coming from. So if you've watched prior Super Metroid Random League seasons, we're doing teams of 3 this season instead of solo. So we're trying out teams and we're rotating modes every week. So this is actually very similar to how the Link to the Past Randomizer League has worked. And we're kind of adopting that format, seeing how it goes. So if you are a viewer from the Link to the Past Randomizer League, if you're familiar with that, then you'll kind of get how this is going to go. And for week 1, we've got multi-world, major minor item split. So we've got Tales of the Dredded Metroid on the left with Dirksu and Traffic Talks Racing, and Skipsy is their player sitting out. So each week they have, for the solo weeks, they'll have 2 of the players playing, and one of them will be sitting out each week. On the right, we have Cross Product and Tracy M from HylianSpaceJumpFrogs, and A0 is their other teammate, not playing this particular match.
That's right. I think this is going to be kind of interesting to watch because, with the teams format, like you mentioned, we get to do some sort of co-op modes like this multi-world that we wouldn't be able to do, if we just had single runners. So it'll be interesting to see, how they play it, and they're going to be, I assume they're going to be, talking to each other, strategizing, and so on. And it looks like we're starting here.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with how multi-world works, basically, the two runners on a team, they'll play on different seeds, but the seeds are linked to each other, and both of their items can be in either person's game. So we may have somebody's grapple beam in the other person's game, and the person that it belongs to will not have it until the other person picks it up. But your own items can also be in your own game. This is a randomizer format that I believe first one created was for Ocarina of Time Randomizer, but a lot of randomizer developers have added it to their randomizers, and it's really fun to do with friends.
Yeah, and it looks like we have the Morph Ball and a reserve tank at the Morph Ball pedestal. This is based on, I believe, Total's randomizer. There's a major minor split, meaning all the item locations are either a major location or a minor location. Major locations are going to have your Morph Ball, energy tanks, beams, high jump boots, stuff like that. And the minor locations are going to have ammo, basically.
Yeah. The fact that minors are all ammo makes it pretty easy to remember. So you can see the text boxes come up when players find things that are not for themselves. And we have Dirksu going up to Billy Mays, which is 2 minor items. This is an interesting check. You don't always see it in major minor because the only way that you can be forced to do this is if your only available Super Missile pack is in here. With Multiworld, I think maybe there's part of the decision to make the play to go there because it might be a bit more likely that one person's super negated. Like, you have to make sure that both players have their super missiles to be able to open green doors. You have to be more mindful of things. Even if you have all the things that you need, you have to be careful to make sure that your partner is going to get what they need as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's like one of the major considerations. You know, you have to be communicating with your partner, like, you know, mindful of what they need or what they might need in terms of ammo, and so on.
And yeah, this is the randomizer created by Total. It hasn't been used in most of our events lately. The main one was the initial 2017 randomizer tournament. The Very randomizer has a lot more is a lot more robust with options, and you can kind of choose your own logic. It's highly customizable, and we will be using the Very randomizer for most of the other weeks. But Total's randomizer is the one that has the multi-world functionality, and actually it is basically, it's part of the same randomizer as SMZ3 multi-world. So you can actually access this multi-world by going to the SMZ3 site and using the subdomain SM.
Right, and for the most part, this is pretty standard. But Dirksu has actually gone left from Blue Brinstar with some power bombs that they picked up. It's kind of like a non-standard play, I think, in the total major minor. But kind of interesting to see. Like, usually what you'll see is what the other runners have done, which is climb back up the shafts, check bombs Rezo, and then make your way, like, kind of loop around to Green Brinstar.
Yeah, it was definitely a non-standard play when the major minor format came out, but there are certain advantages to it. Like, if you follow that path up to wreck ship, it is about a minute faster, assuming that you do go to wreck ship at that point. But it basically funnels you there, so it takes away some of the decision making. You can still go down, but you might be less incentivized to go down. So it might kind of force your hand as to where you're going. But it is faster if you are just planning to go up there. It is also a bit dangerous because of the side hoppers. They do 80 damage. You have to get through them.
Oh yeah.
So
there's also kind of a... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
Yeah, there's also a bit of a risk there. If you don't have Speed Booster, you're kind of leaving behind the waterway item, potentially the wreck ship reserve, depending. And then those are they can be kind of tricky to get back to, but kind of like you said, like, one of the main advantages is you can just, if you do wreck ship first, you know, you can kind of be a little bit more efficient in that regard, not have to kind of, you know, double dip, just kind of do a loop.
Yeah, like, you don't have to go through the upper red tower portion twice, is mainly what it is. But yeah, so we had, I believe player one had, oh, I see Traffic Talks is actually going down to Edikun PBs. Not sure if that was intentional. You don't often go this way in Major Minor, but maybe he fell down the cover blocks I didn't see. Space Jump for player two is in player one's Brinstar Reserve tank. I'm just going to be referring to player one as the top two screens, and player two is the bottom two screens.
Yeah. Something to note here is, you know, like you said, the top players have the same item layout, and the bottom players do as well. So just in case that's a little confusing for anyone.
Yeah, what's kind of interesting about that too is if you have disparate skill levels, or like two people with two different skill sets, then it actually can sometimes really matter which player gets which seed. So if one player's seed has nasty stuff like gravity and deep in Meridia, and they might just happen to not be the player that's as experienced at that stuff, then you can tell that maybe your team has a disadvantage if you know what order the other players pick their seeds in. Like if the player 2 on the other team is better at that kind of stuff, you probably know you have a disadvantage. Tracy, falling in the Decor pit, luckily has an energy tank to make sparking out not too bad with that amount of health.
Yeah, it can be a little tricky to get out of there sometimes.
But yeah, so we've got shoutouts to GDFace for tracking this, because this would be extremely difficult to follow. It's been a bit hard for me to see which items came from where, but we do have pretty much our player 2s are loaded. We've got Screw Attack, Space Jump, and Speed Booster. Traffic Talk's checking Waterway, which is a major item, and it can be hard to route this back in later in the game if you get Speed Booster late, or if you happen to skip it doing meme route earlier, like Cassidy mentioned. Ice Beam there is pretty big, potentially. Like, Ice Beam is one of the items that is needed to traverse suitless Meridia. So if gravity ends up being in there, then you're pretty much going to need it. Maybe there's like an edge case where you don't need it depending on where it is and if you have Spring Ball, but it's also very good for killing Metroids in Turian. Otherwise, you'd have to use Power Bombs to do that, and that's very slow. So Tracy kind of struggling with the wave gate glitch here. You have to be flush against the wall when you yeah, you have to be flush against the wall when you shoot the super shot.
Yeah, it's pretty tricky. Looks like we also have cross product going up in Red Tower. I'm not sure if he's planning on going to Wreck Ship right now. Looks like he's going to maybe get a refill, but Dirksu is already on his way to Wreck Ship.
Oh, did we get a first try CWJ? I unfortunately missed that. That's definitely worthy of some praise. So continuous wall jump. Frame perfect jump just before the edge of the water into a 2-frame window jump off the back of the pedestal. Lets you keep your run speed through your next wall jump, and is a way of getting to Wreck Ship early. It is in logic. Actually, if you've watched the SMZ3 combo randomizer races, if you're familiar with the hard logic for that, Total's tournament logic is very similar to that. Did you happen to see what was at what Traffic Talks found at X-Ray?
No, I missed that, but I did notice that he picked up the Ice Beam.
Yeah, looks like he's just getting Ice Beam now. Okay. X-Ray is another thing that can be super awkward to run in if you get items that open up later in the game. So it's convenient that they have Space Jump now. Player 2's got pretty good movement right now. Speed Booster, Space Jump, Screw Attack. Space Jump, Screw Attack is a very good combination for just being able to jump through rooms and not worry about getting hit by anything. And I think Cross Product is trying to get across the boat to Wreck Ship like Dirksy was. Having some difficulties. This is a tough jump to get. It's very precise. Dirksy finishing off Fantoon.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent Fantoon fight. Travatox. Looks like Travatox is going up as well.
I like the decision to go up from him because he has movement items to make getting to red ship very easy. And not so much in the way of making Norfair easy. No suits basically means you probably get dead-ended at Meridia, or you're unable to... you can hell run Norfair, and it is in logic, but it takes longer than if you had Varia, or if you had other items to speed it up. So if you're low on health and suits, then it's not quite as good of an option. And I think in multi-world, the players are going to want to be a bit more thorough because there's a higher chance of missing progression for one of the players.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's going quite a bit easier for our player 2s, because our player 1s do not have those movement items. Darkseid trying to do what we call the sponge bath. The room is called sponge bath. I guess the strat has sort of called it too, but you have to lay a bomb or a power bomb in a fairly precise position to be able to get knocked up to the ledge. It kind of matters.
Right, yeah.
Sorry, it kind of matters.
That's also in logic as well.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to say it kind of matters where inside the bomb's radius you get hit by it as well. Like, you want to have it hit you as high up as possible. But to accomplish that and actually be able to jump in the water to make it back up to the bomb in time, you have to lay the bomb lower than the apex, which is not the most obvious thing. So I think it's why a lot of people struggle with it.
Yeah, and it looks like Dirksu found a charge beam for player 2 at the Rexship E-Tank. That's pretty nice because, I mean, it makes, like, your ammo concerns are basically a lot less worried about ammo once you have the charge beam.
I think it's a big relief in multi-world too, because finding your own ammo is sometimes out of your control if you're trying to scramble your last bits of ammo for the end game. Because Mother Brain requires the equivalent of 60 super missiles just to defeat phase 2, the main phase of the fight. That's not counting the stuff that you need to break open the tank. So having charge beam to not have to use missiles there is definitely a load off their shoulders.
And there's a plasma beam for player 1 at the wreck ship super there. Travatox just found.
Okay, unfortunately, we have plasma on a different player than the one that has charge. Definitely would be more useful for the person that has charge, but hopefully they find the rest of the beams that they need. I don't think I saw anything good at player 1's Red Ship Reserve. That's a scary item check because you need Speed Booster for it. And if it's something good, then you might have to search the rest of the world for Speed Booster and then come all the way back up here to it. Oh, it was bombs. Okay, thank you. Regular bombs, really nice to have, but usually you go into a Super Metroid Randomizer expecting to never find them. They make it so you don't have to worry about your power bomb count quite as much. Cross product getting a nice sponge bath like Dirksy did earlier.
Yeah, and Tracy takes down Kraid, finds a reserve tank behind.
Tracy's the only one out of these that went down to Kraid first. Ooh, that's big. We got a player 1 finding a gravity seat for player 2, Dirksy finding it for Traffic Talks at the vanilla gravity location.
Yeah, that's a very nice find.
Player 1's still struggling not having that much equipment, though. What's good for Tracy, though, is even though she made the decision to go down, Cross still went up to wreck ship like Dirksy did, so Cross is still going to end up getting that gravity seat for her. So some of your own decisions don't actually impact you in the same way that they would in a solo seed.
Right, yeah, that would be helpful. Once she has that gravity, she'll basically be able to clear out Meridia.
Yeah, and she'll be closer to it too, which will be an advantage for her over Traffic Talks, who went up. And I don't think that, from what I'm seeing from Traffic Talks' side, it doesn't look like player 2's wreck ship has had very much. I think there is the spring ball for player 1, which actually, with player 1's low equipment, spring ball might actually be useful for spring ball jumps in Meridia, like at this rate. But it's relatively unlikely. It usually doesn't end up being too important. So week 1 is going to be multi-world. You're going to see a lot of these matches this week. Like the ALTTPR League, we're still doing 2 matches per week for the co-op matches, and the same 2 players are still allowed to do it if they want. But there will be 2 match. Each team will be facing each other team 2 times, so it's up to them if they want to take the same 2 players or if they want to change out one of the players.
That's right, and I'm sure they'll be considering like the different modes, what the different players' strengths are, and so on, and just trying to meet that minimum per player.
Yeah, it's 5 games per player, but if you do 2 of the co-ops this week, that still counts as 2. The minimum 5 games per player is to avoid score deductions for end of season. Basically, we want to have some system in place to make sure that each team has their members somewhat doing their matches equally. But what's really interesting about this format, and what I really liked about it from Link to the Past Randomizer League, is like you're saying, the ability to pick out runners' strengths versus weaknesses, and try and get the people to do the types of seeds that they're going to want to do, and maybe be able to skip out on the weeks that they don't want to do.
Absolutely, and it looks like Dirksu found gravity suit for player 1 at the X-ray spot.
Okay, so that's his own gravity suit. That was an early X-ray then. Also finding Dirksy finding a various suit for Traffic Talks. That Spazer cross product has not gone down yet, so it's not gotten to that. Cross product is pretty well known in the Super Metroid community for knowing a lot of very. Oh, that's nice timing for the E-Tank while he's doing the damage boost to the early X-ray. That's another crazy multi-roll thing you can take advantage of. But yeah, he knows how to do a lot of crazy stuff like crystal flash clips, elevator crystal flashes to get blue suit without speed booster. That's one that he practices for the dashless categories.
Yeah, and he had a pretty good go of getting across the spike room here without, really any movement items at all. But
yeah, but you had to be willing to do that as player one to get your gravity suit at this point. I actually cannot remember if that's in logic, because the logic for the X-ray item was it was adjusted a little bit between Totals Randomizer and the Varia Randomizer preset that we've been using for Randomizer League seasons. I think the Randomizer League logic actually has more possibilities that put the X-ray damage boosts into logic. Like Ice Beam alone, I believe, will do it for when we use the Varia Randomizer. I think Spring Ball alone may also do it. I cannot remember if that needs High Jump or not. High Jump and Speed Booster will also do it. I don't remember if those combinations work for Totals Randomizer though. But we will be seeing, actually week 5 is going to be a major minor split. And that's going to be with the Varia Randomizer. So we'll have lots of solo action coming up for the people that are looking forward to that. Week 2 is going to be the Dash Randomizer that was made by KIP. Stands for Diversity and Selective Haste. And there were some design changes implemented in it. He hosted a one-day tournament for it on Speed Gaming. Basically, one of the main things is it lets you gravity halves heat damage, which it doesn't do in the normal randomizer. Makes lower North for Hell runs more viable for players willing to do them. And Spazer also will break the bot tune blocks and the waterway blocks. So it provides more options for players to complete the seed with fewer item gates. So if you liked the Dash Randomizer, then definitely tune in next week.
for sure, that's definitely one of my favorite iterations. Just because, like you said, how it allows you to, it gives you more choice, basically.
Did anyone happen to see where Player 1's speed booster was? Because Darkseid was going into radio. That speed booster is going to let him get to Botfoon and through to Dragon. Okay, it was at Player 2's Criteria Gauntlet, okay. That is something that Tracy probably will not get back to for a while. Gauntlet is a really, really fast item to check if you have Space Jump and Screw Attack. But it also routes conveniently if you loop it in with Wrecked Ship. You can do it at basically the start of the game, but usually you're on pretty minimal equipment at that point, and getting through with power bombs alone, or even just regular bombs, can be pretty dangerous. and it's a fair bit slower. So some players opt to skip it until they can loop it back in. Usually that happens when you go to wreck ship. But if you don't go to wreck ship, like Tracy did not, Tracy went down at the start, then you do not happen across that. So Tracy going into Dragon, not going to be getting cross-product his speed booster anytime soon. Though, like I said earlier, cross-product is one of the more known players for doing the Crystal Flash clip, which is one of the ways to get through to Botchoon. So we might end up seeing that. Although he has a lot of energy, he's going to have to drain a lot of that if he decides he's going to go that way. Wait, he has Ice Beam. Never mind.
He has ice as well.
Okay, yeah. Sorry. It is a little hard to. It is a little hard to mentally piece together who has what. Even looking at the trackers, I just remember that one of the items was from a different player's game. So, sorry, bear with me.
Yeah, it is a bit difficult. But yeah, like you said, the speed booster is in Gauntlet. It is like a rather isolated item or location that is. But he doesn't necessarily need speed booster, so we could go the rest of the game without Tracy ever going back there.
Yeah, that becomes interesting in that if you look at try and look at who's ahead in the end of the game, then cross product will have a movement disadvantage. And for multi-world, we are doing first entire team to finish. So your second player has to finish for your time to be registered. So basically, this is the don't finish fourth co-op format. Dirksu's sparking Dragon, getting a little bit of chain damage from getting that blue suit. Looked a bit scary, but it wasn't all that much. You can get some crazy bad chain damage from Dragon sometimes.
Yeah, and that's going to let him spark back across this big room coming up here.
He's trying to gravity jump to preserve it. Oh, unfortunately missed the wall jump out and then accidentally set off the spark input. Actually, that might not have been an accident. He might have just kind of cut his losses. But yeah, without any other movement items, it is not. It's not. You're not in ideal conditions to keep that blue suit coming out. You can't use the run button, and even if you could, you pretty much have to do a Shine Spark to get out of Dragon's room without gravity jumping or bomb jumping anyways, so it makes it difficult to get the full-time save from sparking across Coliseum.
Yep. Right now, the main thing we're looking for is Player 1's Varia suit, as well as maybe Charge Beam or some extra ammo.
Yeah, Player 1's ammo situations are not looking that great. And actually, if they were in better ammo situations, they would also be in better shape to try and skip Varia suit Hell Run Lower Warfare. Oh, well, there it is in the left sandpit. Dirksu finding it. That's definitely something cross-product is going to get on the way out. So they will both have it. We're not going to be missing any Varias this time. Dirksu is ahead. I can't remember if anything in particular put him ahead. I think it was actually a cross product, just having more difficulties getting to right ship.
Yeah, Dirksu also he went left from Blue Burn Star at the beginning, so that. But yeah, at this point, I gotta think the runners are basically kind of thinking about, like, do we want to look for charge beam, or do we want to, like, try to stock up on ammo?
I think stocking up on ammo it's really hard to, I don't know. Like I was saying earlier, it's hard to be in control of who's getting what ammo. So I think ammo management's way harder in this. I would much prefer to just find charge. So yeah, player 1 might be having some struggles if that doesn't get found. I'd say it's more of a concern than in solo. A lot of the major minor aspect is in balancing your checks and deciding whether to commit to majors for looking for charge beam, or whether to commit to minors to stock up on ammo and not worry about war charges. Because if charge is somewhere awful like Shack Tool, and you just don't have to do it, then sometimes that can be better. But you kind of have to weigh the options depending on how many majors the seed has forced you to pick up already. So if you got like Varia and Gravity and super easy spots, and you really didn't need that many items to complete the seed, then in solo conditions, that's usually a good time to just go for your minors, not worry about charge. It's probably somewhere that you skipped already.
Yeah, or in a very inconvenient location like Shack Tool, or maybe the grapple beam location, stuff like that.
Yeah, Plasma's another one. So this is kind of interesting on the right side, though, just because Tracy's early game decision to go down, she's getting she kind of got down to all this area before Travictox did. But Travictox is in Lower Norfair ahead of her. I know Tracy tends to want more equipment for Lower Norfair.
Yeah, high jump boots. She has screw, but plasma is always nice. You really, I think it's easy, just like casually, to kind of not really consider what you need for Lower Norfair sometimes, and maybe go in a little under equipped. But it's never really a bad decision to kind of put it off a little bit. Maybe try to get a better loadout.
Oh wait, Tracy has plasma. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, that's right.
I didn't notice she has plasma because it's not marked on the tracker. I know she prefers the Ridley beam fight, but also her ammo is kind of low, so I think maybe she was doing some extra checks to try and find some items for Cross. Like Cross still doesn't have Varia, so maybe stalling a bit to try and get more supers along the way, not having to farm this. Cross is about to find Varia right now.
Yeah, Varia and speed are probably a consideration here, for sure.
Yeah, Tracy doesn't know that she's missing Cross's speed and is not going to find it down here. But I don't think there was much of value in Upper Norfair so far. But nobody's been to Croc. For good reason. It takes a while. So Travictox already at Ridley, which is a few minutes ahead of Tracy. So it looks like our left team has a pretty solid lead.
Yeah, not a bad Ridley fight either. By Travictox.
Yeah, Traffic Talks is really experienced with vanilla categories, mostly any percent. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Traffic Talks hasn't done Dragon. That route's better into the end game though, so it's not as big of a time loss as it may look.
Yeah, and along those same lines, I think something that might work in Tracy's favor a bit here is that she has not done Fantoon yet. And the good thing about saving Fantoon for last is you can basically just leave wreck ship, and you don't have to do the attic or the bowling cutscene.
Yeah, that does work it, but that's more of like an in your pocket time save. That like you do at the end of the seed, you do have to go and do Fantoon. So if we're looking at them side by side, that's going to cost her time from this point. It saved her time earlier, not going up there. But now, when she gets back up here, she's going to lose a little bit having to do that. Oh, you know, that's why I'm having so much trouble seeing what items people are getting. It's because there's no fanfare for the multi-world. I have an excuse now. That is just because it would be really annoying to be interrupted for almost 7 seconds completely randomly for your partner finding an item for you. But
Yeah,
generally,
it is a nice little.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it is a nice, like, really nice quality of life change for the multi-world.
Like, in most of the solo modes that we do in Super Metroid competitive randomizer racing, we leave the item fanfare on because it's a big deterrent for trying to just collect everything, get extra items you don't need, make the end game super easy. You really have to think about how much ammo you're going to pick up, how much you're willing to check for it. Because otherwise it would tip the balance very heavily in favor of just committing to ammo all the time. Oh, and
so long, like, when you pick up 10, 12 extra items. Yeah.
Chat's kind of mentioning something I hadn't thought of. Cross Product does not have an item to get up worst room in the game near the start of Lore and Warfare. There is a really difficult, really precise wall jump that's possible to do, called the hypo wall jump.
Yeah, that is pretty difficult.
There's some players who are very good at it, but you need very, very good understanding of how the wall jump pose works, and exactly what height to do it at, and exactly how much to delay the wall jump by.
Yeah, that's kind of another one of those things, like I mentioned earlier, like when you're going down to Lower Norfair, you know, sometimes it's easy to not necessarily consider everything you need. You know, it's one thing, like, I've forgotten a few times using Randomizer, like, you know, you definitely need, like, if you want high jump or, you know, space jump, spring ball, whatever.
Yeah, those are all items that would get you up there. Bombs would also do it. The combination of charge and ice would also do it, so you can freeze the pirates. You can't damage them otherwise. So Cross just kind of had to leave because he did not have a way up there. But, oh, actually, so Tracy just picked up bombs for him. So he actually reset back to his save, because that's actually now closer to the entrance to Lord Warfare. Now that Cross has bombs, he has a way to get up worst room in the game. That's another really cool multi-world situation. Player won space jump at grapple for player 2. That would also be an item that would have done it, but Darksu had spring ball and bombs already. Is that really already? But that would have been another option. Not on Route 1, so I think this somewhat works out for Tracy, just getting an item on path that gets across through Lord Warfare.
Yeah, and that's the last of the Golden Four, so to speak, for Dirksu. It'll be interesting to see what he does now. Check some more majors, maybe like looks for ammo, like we were talking about earlier. You know, because he's, I believe, like he can do the Zeb skip, but then like you said, he needs the equivalent of 60 supers to do Mother Brain Phase 2, and not quite there. So I just have to wait and see.
I can never get that wasteland clip. I'm not quite sure if I'm reading these right, but I think Darkseid has 30 supers and Cross Product has 50.
Yep, that looks right.
So Cross is in better shape, despite being further behind. Depends where Charge is, but like, Charge probably won't be too bad to find, because they've pretty much just been clearing all of the majors anyways. I still really think that I have to give this to Tales of the Dreaded Metroid so far. I'm trying to think what charge location would be best for HylianSpaceJumpFrogs to get back into this.
Yeah, at this point I kind of have to assume Charge is somewhere in Meridia, maybe like Plasma or Shack Tool.
Yeah, and at this point, if you're Darkseid, I think you just go and... Oh, Darkseid still has to clear... I'm not sure how much of Upper Norfair he still has to clear, but definitely Speed and Wave Beam. These are really fast things to do. Exiting Lord Warfare, because they spit you out here. At the possible cost of not having those items earlier. Which actually, Tracy did... Tracy was doing the Upper Norfair checks before the Lower Norfair checks. Normally in solo seeds, there are more situations in solo seeds where you're going to rush Lower Norfair if you can, and then clean up Upper afterwards. But in multi-world, the timing of picking up, there are more major items where the timing of picking them up earlier would be more beneficial for you if they're your partners. So there might be let's say there's grapple or speed or something like that. in the speed booster location. And it's like, okay, well, if that's for you, like, you really don't need it that badly in Lore and Orpher. It's not going to help you that much. So you'd rather do that check on the way out where it's more efficient. But now, if it's for your partner, it doesn't matter that you can't use it in Lore and Orpher. They might be able to use it wherever they're going.
Right. There's more of like an opportunity cost, I guess you'd call it, to skipping, just going straight to the Lore Fair.
Yeah, I didn't consider that earlier. It may not have been because she wasn't happy with her equipment. Because, like, she had Space Jump and Square Tech. There are things that still make it better, but that may, if not really, been the real reason. Now that I think about it, Cross not having a way up first room in the game was probably a bigger reason. Also, not having a Varia at the time. Oh, I think Dirksu's going to do Croc now, so that's going to take some time. And we know... Oh, wait, no, we don't know. We don't know what's here. Sorry, Player 2 is the only one that's been to Croc. So this could be Charge. Tracy's going out of her way for miners, so I think actually they're hoping to get cross-product enough ammo to not have to find Charge. And this is two people on Tails' side that are going to have to be doing awful checks for Charge Beam now.
There's high jump boots at Player 1's Croc. Or did we see that already? I may have missed it.
We have not seen a Croc from Player 1 yet, so... I actually do not remember where Player 2's high jump boots were. But yeah, this is the first time that we've seen Player 1's high jump. I think the timing of Cross getting that wave beam messed Tracy's Doppler up a little bit.
So just taking a look at Cross's ammo situation, with 50 supers and 30 missiles, he can do Zeb Skip, which he can. I believe that's going to put him basically in position to do Mother Brain.
30-50 is
I think Tracy, if... No? Or it is?
No, it's not, because, let's see, you need... you need equivalent of 60 for MB2, but that's not considering phase 1, which is the tank, which I didn't go over because it's a little bit more complicated. But so the tank has 3,000 HP. So that's that would just be 10 supers worth. But also, what makes it more complicated is it has the glass surrounding it. It's 6 shots to break the glass open to where the brain is vulnerable, but the brain does not take any damage until the glass is open. Once the glass is open, you can damage the brain, but you have to do 18 shots total to the whole structure to get the glass to go away entirely. So both the brain has to have 0 HP and the glass has to be entirely gone for Mother Brain 1 to advance to the next phase. So a really simple way to think of it is like 36 missiles. And 3 missiles to a super, so you're looking at 40-60s. 40-60 is a number that's often cited. I usually like to go with like 50-60 for having to deal with the doors on the way to Mother Brain. It gives you a certain amount of leniency with that.
Right.
I think I missed the charge beam pickup for player 1. So I was at player 2's chat tool then. Yeah, so sorry for having difficulties keeping up with that.
Yeah, it's a little complicated for me as well, but yeah, it looks like Dirksu is heading to Mother Brain in go mode.
Yeah, that's basically.
Meanwhile, I think yeah, Cross Product and Tracy still looking for some ammo or charge.
They're both going to major locations now, which is
yeah.
These are actually fairly long major locations, so I don't know if I like this given some of the ammo they were trying to go out of the way for earlier. Like at this point, I think it'd be better for them to stick to ammo checks. Another consideration, not really in this seed, but in some seeds, another consideration for like the ammo question is what beam combination do you have? Do you have plasma? Because if you have a weak beam combination, then finding charge beam is not going to help you that much. It will let you beat the game, but it might not be very fast. Cross just found a pack of supers in Crumble Tower. That puts him at 60. Still just barely doesn't have enough to deal with Mother Brain 1 tank in the process. So needs a little bit more. But we're gonna have Dirksu and Travik talks. Both of them will be in Turian shortly. And they're plenty equipped to close this out. Oh yeah, that's true. If you break Mother Brain 1's glass fully, if you do all 18 shots, that sets the flag for it being gone permanently. So you can reload the room, come back with your 30 missiles, damage the brain directly. So technically enough, not comfy, can't miss, has to do a lot of running around in order to break the glass and refill and come out. And you'd have to destroy the Zevatites too, because technically there is a way to Zevatite skip in reverse, but it's you have to have a non-initial position for the Rinka, which is pixel perfect, so it's not really feasible. Like, there's no reason for anyone to practice that.
Right.
It's actually extremely fortunate for Zevatite skip that the initial position for the Rinka is the one that works. Nice baby skip from Dirksu.
Yep.
Gonna save some time not having to refill health. It's really nice for him that he just doesn't have to worry about ammo at all because he's got a charge beam. And Tracy is very far from Shack Tool. They're just really not going to find it. Like I don't think there's a possibility of making the decision to go all the way down there at this point. That last super missile Tracy found, unfortunately, was for her, not Cross, who needs it.
Yeah, and Tracy jumped over the vanilla gravity spot, so it looks like they are pretty committed to looking for ammo right now.
The end of Gauntlet has 2 minor items. So it's... She hasn't gone up there. That is where Cross's space jump would be, I believe. Not that that would do a huge amount of good right now. But I was... Oh, actually, you know what? Cross has enough. Cross, having 3565. He must have just found that last super pack. But 3565 puts him at enough. I would say. That's the amount that I would be comfortable going with, personally. So with Cross going to go mode with that super, Tracy's first into Turian. Gets grabbed by the Metroid, doesn't have bombs to shake it off. Reloads the room. And we have both of the players on the left fighting with their brain. Cross definitely has the better execution on the right team, so it's good. The way they balanced it out, the way that it has worked out for them, that Tracy was able to go into Turian first. Because it's last finisher, so it gives Cross has some buffer to catch up, or Tracy has some buffer to play a bit slower than Cross would without it affecting their final time. Yeah, so player 1's high jump was at Ranomizer. I think it was Ranomizer eating, so Darksu ended up checking that, looking for Charge Beam. Darksu's Charge Beam ended up being at player 2's Track Tool. And Darksu making his way up the climb, about to be done for his team. They're still gonna need Traffic Talks to finish to close it out. So GG's to Darksu.
Yep. GG's.
They're both gonna be finished before either Cross or Tracy are done.
Yeah, Traffic Talks just has the final phase. Something would have to go basically catastrophically wrong here. But Cross and Tracy are basically right behind. Not a huge difference here, I don't think.
Yeah, it's nice in this format for you to not have a huge difference. We do have 2 more co-op weeks. We're doing a Route Rando co-op for week 4, and we're doing an Area Rando co-op for week 7. Well, Area Rando is kind of like Dora Rando light, I guess. Route Rando is kind of a string of rooms. Those will be co-op. Those are going to be decided by average time. But multi-world, you're both essentially beating like a combined seed. So it makes sense to count the time for when you finish the whole thing.
Right, yeah.
And Travix gets in the ship and finishes for their team. Their team is done in an SRL time of 102.52, taking the very first win of Season 3 of the Super Metroid Randomizer League. So congrats to them.
Yeah, GG's. I think we have some more Randomizer League races coming up later tonight as well. It looks like at 7 o'clock, about 45 minutes from now, we have Team Pro Gamer Girls and Komaru versus the Cat Jammers on Speed Gaming 3. Then at 9, we have Forgotten Highway versus Vileplumes on Speed Gaming 4. So if you like this and you want to watch some more, I'd recommend check those out.
Yeah. We don't have any more matches other than those 3 tonight. We don't have any more scheduled until Friday. That may change. So just take a look at the Speed Gaming schedule tomorrow to see if anyone else is scheduled in the meantime. So I think we may wait a bit to try and get interviews because HylianSpaceJumpFrogs are almost done.
Looks like we have Tracy finishing first for the HylianSpaceJumpFrogs at around 106. Cross just making his way out of the escape. Doesn't have speed, so has to kind of wind his way through here, but he'll be finishing up shortly as well.
Poor Cross having to do the left side wall climb, not having speed booster to try and spark up.
Yeah. Oh, and he's going for the we have the animal surprise on, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, we have the end game animal surprise. So, GG's to Cross with the SRL time of 1:07:55 for HylianSpaceJumpFrogs. Okay, so we're gonna get people in for interviews.
Okay, so where was Cross Products Charge Beam?
I think it was Springball from the other seat.
Great. Yeah, I wasn't doing that.
GG's, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Azure, we were switched places. This is weird.
Yeah, I suppose it is. Commented for a lot of my races. So yeah. So let's see.
Okay, I just gotta say that all those miners I kept checking.
Someone say Springball.
Yeah, Springball.
I swear, I checked like
dude.
5-6 supers in a row from Lower Norfair into Wreck Ship, and they were all mine. Every single one of them was mine, and we just need like 1 or 2 packs for Cross. That's all we needed.
Yeah, that's really frustrating. I was saying earlier that the multi-world aspect.
Yeah, it's kind of the reason I hate Super Metroid randomizer races. A question: I did forget to pick up a super missile pack in Bubble Mountains. You guys know if that would have been for me or Tracy? Because I felt really stupid.
Oh, we can barely remember where the major items were.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for commentating, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
It made it pretty close for you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was a good race to start the season with, so I'm happy about that. A little sad that we didn't quite pull it out, but you know, it was
Who had my seed with the gravity suited X-ray?
It was me.
Traffic Tox had it.
No, it was Dark Zoo.
Oh, I'm sorry. You both lit up on Discord. When did you get it?
I did get it when I did Fentoon. Slow. I went basically meme route upward, reverse meme route into wrecked ship, then downwards, tried to get it, failed it, got down, then I got grapple beam, and then I got back up and got it.
Okay.
So Traffic Talks because I think I found Cross's grapple beam at my gravity and just didn't pick it up because it just didn't mean anything by then. Because I did wreck ship at the end.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I think that put us in a very good position for like game flow.
Imagine a double early wrecked ship seed.
I mean, from what I could tell, that was the only thing. I picked it by spring ball, but by then it wasn't. No, I picked it across the spring ball.
I don't know if the lack of charge beam and having to pick up ammo is really the difference. You guys got a couple minutes on us, and would you finish 4 minutes ahead? Or 5 minutes?
Like
5 minutes ahead? Yeah, I don't think I spent maybe close to 5 minutes getting miners at the end, but yeah. I think you guys win. I think you guys win either way. So I feel less bad about it. All right, Super Metroid Randomizer is awesome, you guys. I love racing it.
Well, Traffic Talks had high jump boots and no, that's sorry. Dirksu had high jump boots and space jump. We never found those either.
Well, we found all those things right in the end because we were both searching for my charge beam.
Yeah.
We both did not find it. We both had only this location left.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I had plasma beam left. So
we were looking for charge or miners, and like I said, just every ammo item I picked up post Ridley. I think every single one of them was mine. Every single one of them was mine.
I was like 30-55. I was like 30-55 on ammo for like the last 10 minutes. Like, oh, we'll just grab another super pack. It'll be fine.
I thought that was
this one's for Tracy. This one's for Tracy.
Yeah, and all mine were for me too. So it just if some of those had been for Cross, then I think it's at least a little closer.
But still, I think you guys had a pretty sizable lead with early routing decisions, so that's cool. It was good. Got to see some diversity, which is always fun to see how different routes shape up and then converge at the end.
So I think they had a lead on execution a little bit, not.
Yeah, that's fair.
Oh,
too,
for sure.
absolutely.
Yeah, for sure against me.
Like, I think I had like a 7-round Fantoon fight and then enraged him or something.
And then I messed up wave gate. I messed up. I missed the quick kill. I had a good Ridley fight.
It's still like it was pretty favored. Like the way the race was looking, looked pretty favored towards them.
Oh, for sure.
Because the execution put them in a few.
I mean, I would put cross product with them, but I'm definitely not up to that level.
But like Charge showed up so late because it was the Traffic Toxic check tool, and at that point, like it was still pretty likely that they were going to win, but before Charge showed up, the status of the race like wasn't completely decided yet. So that was like you could have found supers for cross product quite a bit earlier than you end up doing so. That could have maybe changed things. So it wasn't like for sure 100% done until very late into it. So that kept it interesting.
Yeah, like I said, nice, good, interesting race for everybody. So yeah, a good way to start the season.
I felt really good about getting that gravity suit, but at the same time, I think it kind of made me avoid more minor item locations that I otherwise would have checked, and then that kind of bit me in the end.
Yeah, I felt so too, and I was really searching for ammo for Ridley. I was down there, and I realized I did not have the proper amount of ammo to actually beat him. Well, conveniently enough, I had some power bombs, but well, don't really want to fight Ridley with power bombs if I don't have to. Yeah,
for sure. I wouldn't want to do that either. But I had so many supers. It just, yeah.
Yeah, your side was pretty stacked. I know.
I know. Well, then I got my wave beam in the middle of the Fantoon fight, which distracted me from the actual fight.
Oh, by the way, I'm pretty sure Tracy saved me against Fantoon when I enraged. I was one missile away and I dropped it. Like I dropped the missile input. I either tried to doppel too fast or lag kind of got in the way, but I was one missile short in the last round and I enraged and I was like, well, I've got 2 reserve tanks. And then Tracy sent me an E-tank and bailed me out. So
I saw that, but I was in the middle of explaining something else, so I didn't get a chance to point it out. But I definitely noticed it.
That's funny.
That is pretty funny.
Well, I got a slow mid Fantoon, so it was not that good either.
No, my Fantoon is always horrible, and this one was no exception. But I feel pretty good about my Ridley fight, so I'll take that.
Oh, also
I had one good boss fight in there.
Seeing Cross reset back to the Bobbleman and save when Tracy found the bombs room to get up Horse Room is also a fun multi-world thing to see.
Yeah. I
felt a little bad. I was like, oh, maybe I should have at least checked this major item that I'm halfway to, at least see what it is before I reset. But I was just like, bombs, go mode, I'm out of here.
Oh, that gets you a lot in these where it's like you have to like. You usually know at what points, when you're playing a solo seed, at what points you have to react to where you might get an item and think quickly, but you're not expecting it like in the middle of some random hallway.
Yeah, like I'm halfway between save point and item B, and then like, oh. Yeah, but it turned out to be Tracy's X-ray anyway, so. There was a super pack underneath, though, which probably wouldn't have looked.
Oh, that's where you got my X-ray from. Way too late for to be useful. Yeah, at one point, Crossfire was contemplating, can you X-ray climb Worst Room? And I say, yeah. Toasty did it a couple years ago. I'm not sure. I didn't advise it.
Yeah. And you know what would have been better is if Charge Beam were my go mode through Worst Room in the game. That would have been killed 2 birds with 1 stone.
Oh, that would have worked. That's right, because Charge.
Actually, yeah. I didn't think of the X-ray play at all, but I actually would have approved of that. But with Charge Beam outstanding, then maybe search for the Charge Beam. But I was also thinking that you guys were in a position where searching for minors really favored you more, whereas searching for major items favored Dirksy and Traffic Talks a bit more, Dirksy having lower ammo.
Sure.
So I think we can start wrapping up.
Yeah, sounds about right. I know there are more races tonight, so we're not done.
Oh yeah, definitely not. So if you guys enjoyed this multi-world shenanigans race, we'll be having that all through the week. The weekend's probably going to have a lot of races because the 4-way scheduling tends to work out that way. But we do have 2 more tonight, like Cassidy said earlier. 7 p.m. Speed Gaming 3 and 9 p.m. Speed Gaming 4. Those are Eastern times. And there's a 10 p.m. one that's not restreamed. You can see that on the exclamation SMRL schedule. If you want to see the players' hours, you can go watch them on their own channels.
Yeah. That was a very late scheduled match, so I don't think we're going to be able to get. I don't think we'll be able to get anybody to restream that one, but if we do need some commentators. So those of you out there that like commentary, I might hop in for the 9 o'clock. We finally got some for 7. I might hop into the 9 o'clock one. We'll see.
We got comms for the 7. Nice.
We got 1 comm, but I need a break. So. But anyway, thanks guys for Cassidy and Ashdar for commentating the race. It's really cool for us to be on the other side of Ashdar, so that's exciting. Of course, to Cheaty for doing the tracking. Can't say enough about him. Always tracking for me. So
yeah, in fact, he's tracking all of the restream.
He is. He is tracking all the restream races tonight.
Thanks, Cheaty.
Thank you.
All right, GG's everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So
Thanks.
yeah, gonna sign off now.
Good luck on that. It looks like I don't think I'm probably not running the other race. So good luck to the rest of you on the next race we do.
Hey, thanks.
Well, good luck to you as well. And yeah, thanks for commentary and thanks for racing. It was a fun race and yeah, fun evening.